And the answer to that question is absolutely. When we stand ready, She Will Rise is the only initiative that is singularly focused and ensuring that we nominate and confirm the first Black woman to the Supreme Court. And we increase diversity on the entire federal judiciary. And we are determined and ready to get our folks ready and on the phone with their senators to make sure that we are continuing to further diversify the federal judiciary and seeing our first Black woman justice on the Supreme Court.
Margaret, the flip side to that is that Republicans are already planning to use this against Democrats in the midterms. They're targeting vulnerable incumbents and tying to them what they've already decided is just a liberal justice. Could that be a winning strategy for them? How much do you think the Supreme Court factors into how people vote? We know that it worked for Republicans because Trump campaigned on promising to appoint pro-life justices despite the fact that people rejected so much about his personal beliefs, yet they went along with the fact that he was going to put pro-life justices on the Supreme Court, and he did deliver for them.
Right, but I think that because of that, now we understand how important the Supreme Court is and how these are lifetime appointments, and this will affect us for generations. And so I think that what this does really for Republicans just gives them more of a chance to show their racism, to show what they're actually thinking. Because when they oppose these decisions just blindly because of race, because of gender, it really shows what they're thinking and who they are. And I think there's nothing better than the truth when it comes to that.
Mark, I got to ask you something that stood out to me after Breyer's announcement. The justices released statements, these cordial statements. They almost seemed like they read out of a signed yearbook of a graduating high school senior. Chief Justice Roberts called Breyer a reliable antidote to dead airtime at lunches. Both Justices Thomas and Sotomayor praised their friendship with the departing justice. Justice Kagan said she will miss Breyer every day and that she can hardly imagine the court without him. Brett Kavanaugh called Breyer a fierce patriot and praised his nonpartisan approach. And Justice Barrett called him a model of civility. Even NBC's Pete Williams remarked these usually routine statements seemed especially warm and friendly. And it kind of conjured in my head the departing senior there in high school. How will Breyer's absence alter the court, and what kind of dynamic could a new justice bring in? Because the truth is, it's not going to change the fact that you have a supermajority for the conservatives on the bench.
Right, this is a one-for-one swap. The court's ideology will remain the same. At the same time, Breyer was very much a conciliatory voice. I wrote when his retirement was announced that I thought he was too conciliatory, that in fact he was too eager to search out compromises, and that he was too willing to sacrifice his own principles in order to get some kind of trade-off with the right-wing bloc. Trade-offs that have been increasingly difficult to secure in a 6-3 court. It doesn't surprise me that so many of the justices seem to love him. In addition to his rather charming personality, he has been working alongside some of them for more than 20 years. I think it's easy to forget that the justices of the Supreme Court have to see each other day in and day out, year after year, decade after decade. And I think there's just something about the human brain that develops coping mechanisms that teaches you how to like someone you would otherwise hate, when you have to constantly be sitting right next to them and dealing with them in super fraught situations. So I think Breyer excelled at the human relations aspect of his job. I think he probably disagrees with everything Sam Alito has ever said, but figured out how to be friendly with him, how to be chums with him. That's something that his successor might not do. It's certainly not something that, say, Sonia Sotomayor has done. She is not willing to make those kinds of compromises, and so we will see what happens if a more sharp-elbowed justice takes the seat.
All right, Mark and Margaret, please stick around. Kim, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Greatly appreciated your insights on this. And coming up, anti-vaxxers